As always, we round up your Toronto Raptors here on Canada's home for talking hoops, the hangout. Here's the question coming out of locker cleanup and coming into this summer. First question, do you think Bismack Biyombo, as he expressed in his comments, would consider taking a pay cut and giving the Toronto Raptors some kind of weird hometown discount? I don't know how that works.
Well, he's still gonna get a raise.
He's gonna get definitely,
but he might not get his full market value.
But that'll be his call, and you think he will make that call? Because he'll get market value going somewhere else.
He's in a great situation here, and that really has to come into play. He's only 23. He has years and years ahead of him.
Allegedly.
I almost said it, but then I'd let Randy say it.
Yeah.
He's got many years ahead of him to make a lot of money. And look, this is the NBA. Masai's a genius. There's a lot of other negotiators out there, and there's ways to make a deal happen. I do think that these numbers, 15 to 17 million,
Dan, I asked
way
you a
overinflated.
specific question. Do you think Bismack? I don't want to know about the massage.
Well, he's not taking a pay cut, but he will take below market value to stay here.
I don't think he'll take 26 million below pay cut, which because some people are projecting he's going to get 70 and the Raptors can perhaps offer them 44. I don't think he takes that kind of a pay cut because Bismack is the kind of guy that wants to give his money to people to help them.
Yeah.
And I think he's done that with his current contract, and I think he'll look at how much I can help if I get that much more money, even though, he loves Toronto, he loves the Raptors, the organization. Now, if it's between like 50 million and 55 million, yeah, I think he takes a pay cut because he's that kind of a guy as well.
I agree with you. The other element, too, is that, getting that big money, and say he goes to Boston or somewhere else where he's going to start, there's expectations of you getting that money and being a starting guy and what you're going to do.
There's already understanding of who he is in Toronto.
Exactly.
Right.
And you know that he loves this city, and you can just see it, all that stuff, the energy he brings to this team, and they're competing.
What I mistook for a dab was actually some kind of other thing. Okay, all right, so here's the other thing, that we're all enamored and enraptured by Bismack Biyombo, the new hot story around the NBA. But of course, one of the pillars that this whole thing is built off of is DeMar DeRozan, and he is up for a new contract as he opts out of his deal. Looking like a max player. A lot of rumors about whether LA's hiring him or not. What do you think happens here?
I think he's a max player. I mean, if you can float the numbers of 17 million a year for Bismack Biyombo, DeMar DeRozan is a max player, and it's not even close. I mean, he's exercised his playoff demons. He brought them to where they were. Him and Kyle Lowry. I think you have to offer him the money. Look, man, not many guys are like him or that humble that want to stay in the city. He wants to be here his whole career. I like him.
The big question is, and I've been told not to ask questions on this couch.
No, go ahead.
You can ask me.
Can I ask you?
Yeah.
I mean, DeMar's your guy, but
Is this a sub show? Is this a spin-off that's happening over here on the other couch, a spin-off?
I mean, it's at what cost?
On to something.
At what cost?
D&D show, I like that.
The cost is fixed. You're going to have to pay one of your guys to be a max player. Is DeRozan a max player on the market? 100%, and that is where he earns it. He's 8th in the league in scoring. You don't get many guys like that who can score 23, 24 a night. Now, the question is, would he be willing to take a tiny bit less than the max to stay here for the security here and to enable the team to have more elasticity to sign some other players who he may want to help stay competitive? To me, that's the only question, and again, it comes down to negotiation.
And people get hung up on the term max player. Before max player was like that. The max player is not like the LeBron James. Everyone's got a max player.
That's true.
Right? I mean, so it's like
And
people don't want to call him a
lot
max
of money
player.
to go around.
Yeah.
He is a max player, rightfully so.
Yeah.
Quickly, after the Raptors lost to Cavaliers, Raptors fans took to social media. Actually, after the Thunder lost to the Warriors, Raptors fans took to social media to talk about they think KD's coming to Toronto. We even put him in a 3-year-old jersey. You guys buying this? Yes? No,
I don't know if you noticed, but every single team in the NBA's fans put Durant in their
I probably follow the Raptors a little
Yeah,
more
exactly. I
closely.
mean, everyone is talking about it. We know he's a free agent. Everyone wants him to come here. Based on
He
what
used
we
to be
just
a
talked-
huge Vince Carter fan.
Yeah, he's a friend of yours, One of your,
He's
one of your
friends
first
with
interviews,
Beal, he's
right?
friends with
My very
Drake.
first
Exactly.
interview.
But just like you said,
All
you
of
can't sign DeMar to max money and have KD and have
Well,
all
that's
that
where
stuff.
you'd have to work out some sort of a sign and trade. I honestly feel that Durant is not ready to make that kind of decision yet. I think he's going to sign for 1 year, max money in Oklahoma City, which will probably be 24, 25, 26 mil. The money goes up even more next year. He takes one more run at OKC, and then he looks around the league. Maybe the Knicks, maybe the Lakers are ready to go.
The final word from Dan Gladman on the spin-off couch. Don't worry, we'll be happy over here on the court surfing couch. We good.
Yeah.
All right, that does it for the third quarter of today's episode of The Hangout. We'll be back to wrap things up. But quickly, shout out to Thanasis and Giannis holding a very special street ball game, and even Chris Stats came out, and then they started busting with the running man. Good times in Greece.